Okay, ladies and gentlemen, new dawn, new day. But as you can see, the primer has had plenty of time to firm up, and I'm gonna come back over now with a red Scotch-Brite, give it some scuffing, and then, as I mentioned to you, go over some of these problem areas with some body filler, and one more application of seam sealer, I think, is as you can see, like these have a decent sized gap there, and there was no way I was gonna weld this whole thing. So we'll just come through with a very small bead of seam sealer. Some of these areas I want to touch up a little bit with some seam sealer. You know that bed liner, which is getting shot in here and up this back wall, is very forgiving. It has a lot of fill characteristics, but some of this stuff that's going to be just flat black, I want to make sure I pretty it up a little bit. So let's get to it.
I don't have any more stories though.
Okay, so I've got it all scuffed up, and I'm coming back over some of these bad spots with a little bit of seam sealer. I also want to seam seal these door jambs. Then I'm going to hit that with the bed liner. Okay, I've got here the U-Pole adhesion promoter. First time I've ever used it. And I'm going to go ahead, it says 10 minutes, shake the can 2 minutes, spray 1 to 2 coats, wait 10 minutes, and then you can shoot your undercoating. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I've masked off my dash and my headliner area, and you can see where I went over and I filled some low areas. And I used the Bondo knife to really make sure that they were smoothed out. So yeah, let's get to it. Once we get this layer sprayed down here, I think I'm going to go ahead and mix in some micro bubbles, which are really good for sound dampening, heat absorption, and we'll spray the back wall and the ceiling with some micro bubbles. So this is that Raptor liner. I've got a couple videos addressing how to spray it, but basically it's 2 parts. You measure out the hardener. They leave you enough room inside of the bottle here. You dump it in, you shake it for a couple minutes, and then you just screw it right on the bottom of the gun. Really handy kit. Comes in black and then also tintable, where you can match it to a color you already have. I've been very happy with it. Okay, so I went ahead and I sprayed the full 1 gallon kit of U-Pole, and I had a half a gallon of truck bed liner coating my Iron Armor, which is Harbor Freight's brand. This stuff's about $45 for a gallon. I have a half a gallon left. I cut this about 10% with acetone, and then I add in some of these microspheres, and then it will spray through the exact same gun, the shoots gun that comes with the U-Pole kit. This is the same stuff that they put in like lizard skin sound deadener. It's got really good sound deadening and heat insulating properties. You have to be really careful with this stuff. You have to wear a mask when you work with it, but I'm adding this in almost 50% by volume into this, and then shooting that over top of the Raptor liner. Okay, I just finished up. Let's shut these guys off. Just finished, and want to just quick do a rundown of what got sprayed, what didn't. So this floor has 3 coats of Raptor liner only on it, from the front of the seat forward up to where you can see under the dash. That is only Raptor liner. The back wall coming up onto the ceiling and way up underneath this dash has 3 additional coats of Harbor Freight bed liner with microspheres mixed in. So in total, there's a full 1.5 gallons of material sprayed inside of this cab. And I'm heading out of town for the weekend. We're gonna let this set up, give it plenty of time to dry. We'll be back on Monday and we'll see how we fared. Okay, check this out. This has set up over the weekend. It firmed up really nicely. Looks good, but I'm really inspecting some of the areas here now from different angles, and I'm seeing I have some yellow primer showing through here, a little bit up here, and some stuff up under the dash. I'm thinking I'm gonna shoot a little more Raptor liner here on the floor pan, where it's gonna see a lot of foot traffic, dirty shoes, etc. So what I'm doing is I'm coming over with a Scotch-Brite pad, taking this gloss off, and then I'll degrease it, and I'll think I might shoot a couple of coats on. Okay, so I've got one more application on here. I added 2 more coats, but I'm gonna go ahead and unmask this. And if you look here on some of these mask joints, I did what's called a back taping, where you actually lay your tape down and then you fold it back and then you put your plastic on, and that gives you a soft edge. And a soft edge on a application like this is a lot better than a sharp edge where you can really feel that bed liner standing up. So let's go ahead and unmask this, and we'll expose some of this yellow primer, and that's all stuff that's going to be matte black. Okay, you can see where some of this bed liner came through behind my masking, but I think that'll come off. And then you can see it like this right here. It's the residue off of the masking tape, and I'm wondering if that's not maybe from the adhesion promoter. That adhesion promoter might melt the tape adhesive. I'm not sure. So I don't know, but I'm gonna go ahead and scuff this with the red Scotch-Brite and get some of these drops off. So this is the Blitz Black I'm using. It's a satin black that's put out by John Deere. I believe it's made by Valspar for John Deere, if I'm not mistaken. There's actually a little website up dedicated just to this stuff. It's a synthetic enamel, and you can actually mix in a hardener and a reducer that they put out also. But it's definitely got a little cult following. Like I said, it's been around forever, very popular hot rod color. I sprayed it a few times and I've been pretty happy with it. Okay, so I've got 4 coats of Blitz Black on there. I did the trim pieces for the inside of the cab also. And then I did the outside center divider for the windshield. I'm considering bringing my 2 pieces of windshield in and getting them slightly tinted. The back glass and the side glass are factory tinted. And so I thought it'd be kind of cool looking if the whole front was just kind of a dark black-ish color. But anyway, four coats on all of that, and we'll let that flash off overnight. We'll probably strip off the masking tape and see where we sit. Now there are some spots that I'm gonna have to come through with a little brush and a little bit of undercoating and touch up where there was a little bit of discrepancy when taping, but that shouldn't be a big deal at all. So this is what I was talking about here with a little bit of discrepancy on the taping. I'll come back through with a brush and some of the bed liner and kind of dab that in. Yeah, we've got all the spray and bed liner done on the floor, up underneath. This stuff that's up and underneath the dash, and the stuff that goes up the wall, and then what's going to be above the headliner has microspheres or glass bubbles mixed in for sound deadening. I went ahead and did up the doorpost, and I also did it here because it really helped mold these gasket channels in and made them look seamless. And then I did the dash just in a regular flat black. Now, a couple things that need to happen in here. I'm gonna end up adding a plate that covers these two gauge holes, and I'm gonna go with maybe like a Dakota Digital or something like that instead of the round gauges, because I could not make that look nice no matter how I laid that out on my CAD. I'm gonna use a air ride control system as well as the AC unit, control unit. You can see I painted the outside flange here, but I didn't come onto the body with any paint because that's gonna stay kind of a rustic patina look. But yeah, making some headway here.